Hi, everybody. I wish you all a very happy Easter to those of you, the Catholics, who've already celebrated it, and the Orthodox Easter is yet to come. I wish you in advance happy Easter. And yeah, a lovely, lovely beginning of spring. I think as all the nature blossoms and all the days become longer, and as we get more energy of the sun, I think we also feel a certain power rising in us. And maybe a lot of people have more energy. I know that there are certain phases where we feel that we have that we are more tired than usual, maybe, but that could also be energies that we feel. Anyway, today's topic is health and healing. I was talking earlier a lot about the process of healing and what is health and what is disease. We compare that in our modern society, which I don't mean as a critique, but as I know it, or the way that I know it from school and from university and from the way that the modern Western society teaches about health and about diseases, is I think parts of it are really very helpful. And of course, it's very helpful to know about the human body and to know about the way that things function and the organs. But what is very important, I think, and I had an encounter today at work with a patient who came with a certain symptoms, a disease that came very, I want to say, out of the blue. It doesn't even matter what it is. It's in short, it's a patient. I think he was above the age of 60, or about 60, 65 years old, but very, very healthy. And he said that he has never taken medicine in his entire life. He is very he's eating well. He has a healthy lifestyle. He does a lot of sports, and he says that now, kind of out of the blue, about 5 to 6 weeks ago, he said he lost his life energy. He says he suddenly lost not only the lust for life, but the energy. He said he kind of lost the strength. He can't perform his sports the way that he used to. And now he says he was treated by a doctor just about a certain, about this feeling of unwell. He just felt unwell. He didn't know why. He said he woke up in the morning and he was just tired, and he didn't know why. So he consulted the doctor, who found something in the lung, and then he said that he was treated with symptomatically with just a spray of cortisone. The point is that the treatment by the doctor was the treating of the symptom of those oxygen filled whatever kind of bubbles in the lung by that spray. And now the patient came to see me because he didn't know whether, because he was taking, or he is medicating himself with that cortisone spray for, I think, 4 weeks, and now he has something, symptoms, oral symptoms in his mouth, that he just wanted to get checked up by me. And he asked how did that happen with his gum tissue in his mouth, and could that have to do anything with that spray that he's taking now for the lung. And he also said that he just has a feeling of unwell in the mouth now, and that his gum, his tissue in his mouth, it doesn't feel well, and he doesn't feel very good about taking that spray that he's been medicated with. And then we got to talk about why, or did anything happen before he got, or that he felt sick. Anyway, I think that what he said is that he's kind of desperate now because he's doing this therapy with the spray, but he doesn't really know if it's even a good thing, because he doesn't feel better really taking it. He just feels as bad as before, but he's taking something that makes him feel even worse in the mouth because he has now other symptoms occurring. And he said that the doctor who treated him didn't really tell him how long that he's going to be medicated with, for how long he's going to be medicated. They just did that because they wanted to do something about those bubbles in the lung, but they don't really know what they are, how they came, and the patient doesn't really know a thing about any kind of what is happening. He just doesn't know. So he was kind of desperate. And then we got to talking, and I was asking, why do you think you feel so tired? Was there anything that happened? And was there anything that happened to cause those symptoms of tiredness and of feeling unwell? What happened? What changed in his life? Was there something that changed? And he says that he has to think about that. He didn't even think about that. He doesn't really know. Now that he thinks about it, there might be something. And I can't say now what it is. But it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just the fact that someone comes to the doctor with a feeling of unwell, and there is a treatment, but the patient doesn't really know what the treatment is for and what is the cause of his feeling of unwell. So and how is he going to get better at all? How is he going to heal? How is he going to get better? Simply by taking the spray, he says he doesn't feel he doesn't feel better. He feels worse. And he feels also worse because he doesn't really know. He wasn't told what the cause is. I mean, we talked about that together, and together we got to the point where he said, I don't really know what's happening to me. This is also one of the reasons why I now feel uncertain, is that I don't know what is happening to me right now, and I don't know how I got here. How did I get here when 65 years of my life I was healthy and I wasn't medicated, able to do to have a good life and to do sports the way that I used to, and now I'm not, and I don't know why that is. Now, what I want to say by this is that I think that our clinical system is so compartmented by little detailed or little compartments who look at the specific region of symptom, which is a very, very good thing, because we have to, of course, when we have a symptom, we have to look and we have to examine the organ. Of course, we have to see, is there something wrong with a certain part? Now, for example, in his case, the lung. Is there something wrong with the lung? What can we do to make the lung work? What can we do? But what we are missing is another point of view. So the one point of view is to look at the symptom, to look at the organ, and to look at the case, and to look, how can we make this better? Or when I'm a dentist, for example, and I have someone who, by grinding his teeth 8 hours every night, grinding, ruined all of his, ruined his teeth. And now he has migraines, he has headaches now because he grinds his teeth. He has tension in all of his muscles and also his neck region. He has all those things, and he has the symptoms and the teeth. We can treat the teeth. This is one part of the medicine, but what about the other part? the part where I look beyond the symptom and I want to find out why. Why did that happen? Why did that symptom come? How did we get here? What caused the symptom? This is the other part, which is very, very important. And I think for a holistic point of view, a holistic medicine, where we look at when we want to heal people, when we want to help people and get them to heal and to be whole and healthy, we have to look at the other part too, which is why are things happening as they are happening? What is the cause? Where there is something internal, maybe. It could be only stress. It could be some other medication that we take. It can be our social relations. It can be a very, very stressful job that we're in. It can be a friendship that is very stressful. It can be maybe something in our food that we're taking in daily, but that is not good for our body. It can be so many things. It can be some kind of blockage that we have since our childhood that is there in our internal self, and that has been oppressed and that maybe has been forgotten, but that is still there and that is not cured, that we haven't been able to dissolve, that we haven't been able to let go of that blockage because we didn't ever really let it heal by working with it and by working through the blockage. So it might be a blockage from somewhere that we have in us that causes stress in our system, that causes stress, and that causes that maybe because, of course, our inner self or the blockage or the stress that we have in ourselves tries to tell us, hey, help me out here. I have a blockage and I have something that you need to really look at because I'm here. I want you to look at me and really look at me and let me go. But you have to look at me in order to let me go. That is the blockage speaking. I'm just trying to make this as understandable as possible for everyone, because I think that from that perspective of medicine and from only that perspective of society that we learn in school and that we're taught at university and that we taught by our society, from that kind of perspective we only see one-dimensional. We see the organ, we see a certain problem, a specific area, but we're not really taught to look at things from a very complex, holistic point of view that considers that we are holistic beings, that human beings are spiritual beings. We have a spirit, we have a soul that lies in our bodies, that lives in our bodies, and that wants to express itself. Of course, the soul has no own language. The language or the language of your soul, you could listen to your soul when you're really careful and really mindful. And some people probably are very in balance and in touch with also their souls. But some people just can't hear the soul because it doesn't really talk. It doesn't really speak. And so when the soul, for example, has a blockage or there's any kind of stress, it could be external stress, it could be a chemical kind of stress, it could be, like I said, something that you eat that causes stress, a friendship that causes stress, social relations, anything that causes stress, but it causes stress not only to your body but also to your soul, because you are your soul. And when that soul it has stress, and then it forms a blockage that wants to be set free, but we have to look at it. And then it can be that our soul tries to speak, but we don't listen, and then it tries to speak to us, through our body's symptoms. So when we get a body symptom like a migraine, when we get a body symptom like all of a sudden, from one day to another, we cannot tolerate a specific kind of food, or we can't tolerate a lot of foods, and we get stomach aches, and our body doesn't tolerate many things that it tolerated before. That's also a body symptom. Or also depressions, mental symptoms that you have can also be symptoms of your body. But your soul speaking to you through your body symptoms, telling you, hey, something is not right. Please look at me. Can you please slow down and settle down and look? I'm trying to tell you something. There is some kind of stress and some kind of blockage that you have to resolve, that you have to work through in order for us, the soul and the body and the spirit, to get in balance, to be in balance. And so this is, I think, the message that I want to give out, that I see this. I've experienced it on my own body, and I know that this is the way to healing. If you want to heal and be happy and healthy, whole and healed, or heal, because that's a journey and a process, probably never ends, because it's a constant evolving, constant healing. But if we really want to do that, we have to look at ourselves not at those single parts of ourselves, like our body, our heart, the mind, the psyche, as separate things, but we have to look at ourselves, the human beings, as a very, very complex formation of all those things that interact constantly, that are in interaction and in touch constantly. The soul with the body, and the body with the spirit, and all the body parts, of course, as they interact with one another, as all our body interacts. Even your teeth, they interact with your organs, throughout your energy systems, as you can tell from the teeth about specific organs. Just like that, also the body, it interacts with your soul, because it is one. This is one thing. You can't look at it separately. And if we look at this separately, I don't think that we're going to really find a way to heal. Because that is why I told the story. I think this point of view of the doctor, looking at the symptom, of course it can help, and it helps the symptom, and of course it helps the organ. But what about the rest? What about the rest of the patient? When the organ, for example, is getting a little better throughout the medicine, what about the stress? The stress that caused the symptom, isn't it still there? Isn't it still there? And isn't it still trying or wanting to be healed? Isn't it going to cause, if we just look at the symptoms and treat the symptoms, make them go away or make them better, isn't the stress still there? And maybe that's going to cause another symptom. Just because we relieved the symptom doesn't mean that we really healed the patient. So this point of view of disease and curing diseases, it's one-dimensional, and it's very important. If we really want to feel in balance, we have to be in balance with our soul. We have to know that. We have to know that we need to widen our perspective. We have to gain a bigger perspective, just open our perspective, and not just look at things like this, but also question, also as patients, we as people, not only can we put our health or healing in the hands of the doctor, it's also my responsibility to look at myself. But I have to know that I can't just look at myself like this and to see, okay, I have now this migraine in my head and I have to cure my head. No, I am one very complex being. My soul is connected to my body, and those are connected to my spirit, because I am a spirit. I think a lot of people know this already, because you just feel when you have emotions, and sometimes you just have a feeling that you know someone. You have a gut feeling that something is good for you, something is a good frequency, something is a good energy for you, or that is a low energy, that it drags you down and it makes you powerless and it makes you weaker. So by that feeling, that is the, I mean, that is already proof that we are spiritual beings, because we can feel those things with our intuition. Anyway, what I want to say now, closing, is we have to widen our perspectives, and to look at things from a lot of different points of views and different very wide angles, very wide, to see, okay, there are symptoms, okay, there are things in the world, but why are they happening the way that they do? And when I look at myself, first of all, I think I have to analyze myself, because that's probably easier than to look at the world. That's very vast and very, very big. But the first thing how I can learn about the world and about all the natural laws is to look at myself. Look at yourself and see and also analyze yourself. See what symptoms do you have, and what are they connected to? What maybe what situations are they connected to? Do you have a new symptom? Is there maybe a situation that caused that? Is there some kind of relation of a specific thing that happened to your symptom, to your feeling? Get to know yourself better, and wider also your perspective on yourself, because our symptoms, our body symptoms, they are not just randomly out of the blue. There's a cause for everything. There's a reason for everything, and when you just ask why, you will find the answer in yourself, because life will always give you the answer if you just ask, why is that happening? Why is that happening to me? And why am I feeling like this? Why? You will know when you ask that. And when we look at things from that bigger point of view, and from all those both sides to the medical system, we will get better results, we will feel better, and we will find out more when we widen our perspective. And this is, I think, one step to real healing. It's a very important one, to gain consciousness of that there are a lot of things that are not taught, that we're not taught in school, and we're not taught by our society and by this system, but that we can find out ourselves if we want to find out. Okay, in that sense, I wish you a very happy evening, and good thoughts and good thinking, and I'm happy if you join me in the comments and join in the conversation, just by thinking about things. Okay, if I can be of any help, please, you can always ask me. Happy spring and summer, and happy Easter again. A lot of love to you.